Hurts. And his throw here is incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they're going to motion Dotson to the left. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Play action. Now Jackson. Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. First down, here's Mitchell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
Throwing is Jackson. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, But for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
60 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Here's Hurts to throw.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up second down. Up the middle with Barkley. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, 29 yards.
And the Eagles have got it back to within a score.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is down to 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
But, Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Once again, it's Mitchell.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Flowers going to go in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This 2nd and 4.
Jackson from the shotgun. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Now 2nd and 3. They run over center with Mitchell.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
52 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Off the play fake, here's Jackson.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
It's a 6-yard touchdown pass.
And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always...
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game.
And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. To throw is Jackson.
Able to locate Andrews here on the out route.
That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, You're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. He got 29 yards that time.
63.
On first down, he'll drop to throw, eluding the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. He stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Looking to throw again on second down.
Hurts.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
And they're game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And Hurts going to move him around.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Eagles. DeVonta Smith with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Eagles have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bull his way in there for the 2 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
That's caught. It's Flowers. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Hey, report.
Jackson.
And that's dropped underneath to Mitchell.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Well, this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19.
61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Here's 2nd and 3. Right back to Mitchell here.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. They go play action with Jackson, rolling to his right. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Try the right side with Mitchell.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. A give here to Mitchell. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And his kick is indeed good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Here's 1st and 10.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Odafe Oweh in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And this is desperation time now in the final minute. You're just throwing something up there, hoping you can get a call. Maybe find a way to get someone free. But no dice there. That one's incomplete.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown, Charles, with very little time remaining, boy, it just sucked any energy and momentum out of the other sideline.
Yeah, take an incredible comeback in the final minute to bring this one back to even. A great series there offensively. They saw an opportunity to slam the window shut, and they followed through.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Pass complete, Goddard.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time is run out on this ball game.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign, and it did that. I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for the Ravens, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's a tough one to swallow as they...
Tripping off grades, I just be making up different reasons for my nieces.